Hey guys, what's up? So, a little bit longer format video here, getting into some of the details of like our nutrition and our TNT 10 Commandments of like health and wellness. Remember, there's 3 pillars to wellness: training, nutrition, and thinking. And so this is our longer format nutrition piece. Now, really, my priorities straight out of the gate, almost for everyone, are going to be our water, our vegetables, our fiber, and our sleep. And the reason for that is because if we can focus on those 4, that's going to be kind of our biggest hurdles to overcome and start building momentum. But I want to go top to bottom through this and really kind of cover everything a lot more in detail, because maybe you're watching this as a setup to one of our grocery shopping trips, or maybe you're just looking for more details, and we're going to have a conversation a little bit later on from now about your journaling and what habits you're currently having when it comes to your nutrition. So, first one up on our list there, right, is our half body weight in ounces of water a day. So if I weigh 200 pounds, right, that means I'm trying to drink 100 ounces of water a day. For some people that seems like a lot. For other folks that's not much at all, okay? You gotta really get the pattern of this going, find a way to track it, and yeah, for about a week or 2, you're gonna feel like you're peeing all the time, but I promise that will get better. Now, alongside of that, right, with your half body weight in ounces of water, I want you to cut out alcohol, sodas or carbonated beverages, and juices. The first one straight out of the gate is alcohol, right? Alcohol contains just a ton of sugar. It's the simplest form of a sugar, right? You think about if you struck a match on it, it actually lights on fire, okay? It's just our body doesn't need all those extra calories that are coming from alcohol. Second to that then is soda. Now soda, there's a lot of long rants you can get into, and energy drinks and everything else like that. My big thing is carbonation, okay? Folks that I see that do drink soda regularly, their conditioning in the gym suffers, and they have a hard time breathing freely and easily during their workouts, okay? And then finally, juice. And juice goes back to the calories, right? Juice contains a whole lot of sugar. If you remember, I think it's Tropicana's whole thing about there's 80 oranges in every box of juice. Well, think about the amount. You wouldn't eat 80 oranges, right? You might eat 1 orange, or if you're really adventurous, 2. Think of the amount of sugar in 1 or 2 oranges with the fiber and everything else that's going on in there, versus eating a whole, or drinking rather 2 cups of orange juice, which go down really quick. That's going to contain a ton more sugar than just having eaten an orange would have. So that's my thing about juices, or even sugars added in juices, which is even worse, right? Then we move on to number 2 on the list, which is a good segue here: 2 fruits a day. Now we got to eat those 2 fruits a day because it's good for us, right? Well, what is a high glycemic index? Well, it beats eating a Snickers bar, right? So generally I say a serving is like the palm of your hand: an apple, a banana, an orange, or like a handful of blueberries, strawberries, that type of thing. Twice a day, generally I prefer them to have them in the morning, and you might prefer to try and get them in there, but even if you have to have an apple before bed to help with that sweet tooth, that's me, I got a sweet tooth, that's okay too, right? It's not gonna harm you anything. I think an apple is 80 to 120 calories. Not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Moving on to number 3, you guys: increasing your omega-3s and eliminating hydrogenated oils. Now this one's a little tricky. Increasing omega-3s, taking a fish oil supplement. These basically should be your good healthy fats that we're eating. Avocados, quinoa, things like that, where there's that healthy fat with it, okay? Those act, think of a cargo ship, right? The bigger that you have those healthy cholesterol or that healthy fat in your body, the more room that it has on there to carry with the fat. If we get bad fats like hydrogenated oils, number 1, that's what we get scarring of the arteries from, but number 2, it acts as little tugboats instead. And now if you think of a harbor, right, what's going to clog up faster, one big cargo ship making their way through, or dozens of little tugboats getting away of each other and running into each other and causing things to jam up? Well, it's number 2, right? So that's why we want to increase our omega-3s and then eliminate hydrogenated oils. Hydrogenated oils are going to be found in peanut butter, Crisco. You can get a really good separating natural peanut butter, Smucker's makes some good stuff. That's a great option to go with that. As we move on to number 4 here, I think this is the one that I love the most because I see people struggle the most with it. It's eating 4 cups or 8 servings of vegetables a day. Now, I encourage you to have a greens drink first thing in the morning, but that's a bonus. That's not replacing your vegetables. 4 cups of vegetables, 8 servings a day, straight out of the gate. Number 1, getting more fiber in your diet, getting things moving the way that they're supposed to. Number 2, that should have been number 2, shouldn't have. Bad jokes, right? Number 2, again, really good phytonutrients, a lot of vitamins, minerals. When you're gonna cook your vegetables, our priorities here are to steam them, steam them fresh and then boil. Boiled, we lose the most nutrient out of. Fresh vegetables, our body actually lacks the ability, right? We're not cows with the 4 stomachs or anything, or we're not a horse with a huge acetabulum that allows us to digest vegetables the way that animals do. Therefore, when we cook vegetables, it breaks down the cellular walls a little bit and allows us to get more of those nutrients out of it, okay? Moving on, number 5 here. 1 gram of fiber per 50 calories of 100% whole grains. Number 1, get rid of the white poisons, sugars, alcohols, bleached, enriched products for your carbs, noodles, rices, things like that. You just don't need it, okay? Yeah, it's a little bit different tasting, a little bit different texture, but at the end of the day, we do need carbs in our diet, but we need to make sure that we're getting them from sources that our body is working hard to break down versus just being like, ooh, look, a Twinkie, okay? So, 1 gram of fiber per 50 calories. If we look at a slice of whole grain bread, 100% whole wheat, it says on the front, we look at the ingredient list, and it says from whole wheat, or made from whole wheat, 100% whole wheat, awesome. We look at that nutrition label, we look for fiber, it says there's 2 grams of fiber, and that there's 70 calories in that piece of bread, awesome. We're right in the range we need to be in, and that's a perfect thing for you to have then if you're gonna have a slice of bread, right? 70 calories, 2 grams of fiber, rock on, go for it, guys. Moving on to number 6. Keep in mind number 6 is a minimum, okay? 1/3 to half your body weight in grams of protein a day. I know there were some studies done at some point that people said, oh my gosh, you can have kidney failure if you eat way too much protein. Here's the thing, if you're eating more than 4 grams per pound of body weight, then there was worries about renal failure, like with your kidneys and stuff like that. Really, I think most people should be at about a half to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but hey, there's that. This means that like when you look at your packet of tuna, oh, there's 17 grams of protein in here. Or you look at a chicken breast, that's what we're trying to bulk up, is getting a lot more protein in our diet. And the reason for so much protein, guys, is that it has the highest thermic effect of food. Now, what the thermic effect of food is simply the amount of calories it takes to digest the food. So if I remember correctly, right, protein's at 30% thermic effect, right? That means if I have 100 calories of protein, 30 calories are getting used just to digest it. So I'm already setting myself ahead of the pace because I'm eating food that's gonna be tougher for my body to digest and allowing me to burn more calories that way. Moving on to number 7, exercising vigorously for 4 to 6 times a week. Okay? There's a difference between exercise and activity. I think you should be active every single day. Go for a walk, go shovel your yard, right? Or, get out, go for a bike ride, go sledding, do something every day. Okay? That's activity. Exercise means that you're training specifically for a purpose. Maybe it is to move better, feel better, to lift up something heavier, to be able to run faster. But you should be training also that 4 to 6 times a week, at least for 45 minutes, preferably for an hour. Quite honestly, guys, I think this is one of the longest predictors of overall health, is what your cardiovascular health is as we get older and older and older. So it's very important that we take this seriously here, okay? Number 8, sleeping 8 hours a night. Granted, this study was done on high schoolers, right? There's a study done, though, that showed that for high school athletes, their likelihood of injury was 1.7 times greater like kids that got less than 8 hours of sleep, their likelihood of injury was 1.7 times higher than those that got greater than 8 hours of sleep a night. What does that mean? Basically means that your body is using sleep as its opportunity to recover and mitigate stress and allow your body that time to refresh itself before the next day's training. It's also, as adults, when our body deals with like that stress that I brought up earlier. Our subconscious, especially when we dream, goes through all these things that we kind of repressed and shoved down to forget about until later on. If we don't allow ourselves as much time to sleep, our body can't and our brain can't cycle through those things, And as a result of it, it's going to increase cortisol and increase stress hormone, because it is stressed. And stress just isn't like, oh, there's a bucket of stress over here and a bucket of stress over here. It's one big bucket. And in that bucket, you get financial stress and career stress and family stress and working out stress, new nutrition stress and new boss stress. And all of these things pour into this bucket until it's overfull and it's overflowing, right? So that's why we need to be intentional about our recovery and our stress management. Number 9 on this list here, okay? Using supplements. Now, I want you to eat a whole food diet first off. And then we use supplements to fill in the gaps. If you struggle with protein one day, awesome, have a protein drink. If you struggle increasing your omega-3s through natural food sources such as avocado and fish, hey, at that point in time, this is a great opportunity to use a fish oil supplement or omega-3 supplement. If getting good sleep can be a struggle, and instead of using like a chemical-induced sleep supplement, why don't we try some things like some lavender, or some, what's the other one? L-arginine, branched-chain amino acid that's a vasodilator, right? This is an opportunity here that we need to discuss and go into further detail on in order for like us to say like, these are good ideas for you. And then honestly, using supplements more for recovery, because that's gonna allow us to have better energy. Once we're better recovered, and we're getting better energy, then to say, you know what, I'm gonna strategically use caffeine in my day, because I'll admit it too, like, I love my caffeine, okay? That's where we fill in those gaps. Lastly, what we track improves. You must journal, okay? Number 1, it's for our benefit as coaches to be able to see what you're currently doing, but number 2, it's for you to see, and to have an honest moment with yourself and go, oh, you know what? I'm not drinking enough water, or oh my gosh, I guess I did have 4 servings of ice cream rather than just 2 like I thought I did, right? Little things like that where all of a sudden we start tracking it and realizing how much bad stuff or good stuff we may or may not be putting in our body. And again, that helps give efficacy to all of the other things on this list here to make sure that they're getting done. Now, I'm gonna go into like how we burn calories in a second here. But the thing I want from you is to go through this list and name the top 3 things that you need to do that you think are going to make a difference in your diet, okay? Then, after you've named those 3 things, I want a food journal from you for Thursday, which is like a normal day of the week, Friday, because it's like a semi-normal day of the week, and then Saturday, because it's the weekend. And at that point, once you have those 3 things, I want you to contact me, and then we can have a deeper conversation about what we need to do in order to help you, live and eat healthier as a result of it. So remember that homework, guys. Now, lastly, how do we burn calories, right? It helps to have some understanding around this so that we know why it's important to eat enough calories in a day. So we talked earlier about the thermic effect of food. That's how many calories we burn simply by just, eating our food. This is why eating healthier food is more important than eating unhealthy food. Because we eat unhealthy food, the thermic effect is significantly less than healthy food. Okay, so that's the thermic effect. Then we have like our basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate. If I lay in bed and stare at the ceiling all day, this is the number of calories I'm going to burn just to survive. Okay. Lastly, then, is energy expenditure. Energy expenditure is from your workout, it's from you actually going and doing the things in your life. Going to work, taking a walk, taking the dog out, picking up your kids, going grocery shopping. This is all energy expenditure. Now, our goal is to eat, right? So this is what we total. Let's say this number is like 2,000 calories, okay? Just for easy numbers. And our basal metabolic rate is 1,500. Thermic effect of food might be 300, and energy expenditure is 200. These are all really low numbers, by the way. We want to eat somewhere between the basal metabolic rate and our total calorie intake in order to see weight loss. Remember, healthy, sustainable weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. Remember, healthy, sustainable weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds a week. So, we want to eat between these 2 numbers because if we eat below our resting metabolic rate, our body is going to reduce our muscle and bone density in order to accommodate the lesser amount of calories. And it's going to maintain our fat stores because our fat holds more energy as compared to muscle or like just overall connective tissue, right? We gotta eat less than our total calories because that's the only way we're actually gonna ever lose weight, right? How do you lose weight? Eat less and exercise. Wow, exactly. So guys, it is a bit of a science, but it helps to have some awareness around that as well. So again, do your homework, right? Find the top 3 things over here on this side that you need to do in order to improve your health and nutrition. Have a journal of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then contact me to set up a date and time, because then we'll go over this in more details for you, as well as what we can do over here to help get you more progress, right? Our first ball of momentum is getting you exercising and training consistently. The second one then is having a nutrition plan that's going to help support your recovery from workouts, as well as your goals, be it for body composition, for reduction, or increase for some mass, right? So with that, guys, if you have any questions, like I said, please reach out, do your homework. I'm happy to help you out, but I really want you to make sure that you're educated about this stuff first before we go and start doing some of those fad diets that are out there. Awesome job. We'll catch you later.